What's up, homie? Serge Bethesda, aka Corporate Buddha here. Namastizzle. Peace, love, happiness. I wanted to share the story of the exact day that I started to get into wellness, like self-care, whatever you want to call it, mindfulness. I mean, I got hooked into meditation, but it was a gradual process. But the day it all started was New Year's Day, January 1st, 2017. We had like a major party, and I was wrecked. I was like 12:30. My heart was racing so fast. I probably consumed 12 to 15 vodka Red Bulls. I mean, I was really just had a huge propensity to be able to clock alcohol, in particular vodka. And vodka, I don't know, like, I just enjoyed the taste. Like, mixed drinks, I loved vodka. It just made, like, it was my taste buds. Some people love wine, some people love beer, some people love, cocaine. I don't know, I've never done cocaine, but, some people have, like, their thing. And I never liked, like, brown liquor. Like, I never liked scotch or whiskey enough, or, like most people in college. Like a buddy of mine referenced the other day, our Captain and Coke stage, where, we would drink rum and Cokes, right? And that wasn't, that long. Jack and Coke. I mean, Jack, if you got a night with Jack, like, sometimes, man, Jack will fuck you up. Jack don't fuck around. Like, I remember my mid-20s when I would go out, if I see someone and be like, oh, the Jack and Coke, I was like, that good a week, huh? Like if I went out and was like, yo, let me get a Jack and Coke, like, I had a rough one that week, right? So, but that lifestyle, like, from 2017, it wasn't even just about 2017, right? Like, that lifestyle that I had was literally from the age of 17 years old, when I first, like, started, like, hanging with my buddies and, like, partying. And granted, I played D1 tennis, and so I was always, like, an athlete and disciplined. But, come Friday, Saturday night, I started going out. I was a junior in high school, and then that led to, college and partying and post-college. Like, I would say from the age of 17 to 42, right? Like, those 25 years, I partied like a rock star. Like, no one could keep up with me. Like, I was like Mick Jagger. I just wasn't an actual rock star, but I partied like one. And, it was always like during school, like, Fridays and Saturdays, or, something like that. Or when I was working Fridays and Saturdays, and, some Thursdays started creeping in. And as I became more successful, like, putting one on when I'd go, out of town for business. And I was just a fucking rock star. I was a lunatic, and I was the life of the party, big energy, big personality. I was doing well financially, so a lot of times I was, treating friends. I was always the guy who, like, get the party revved up. And it was all vodka. Like, it was always vodka, like, because that's what I liked. And so I'll never forget that New Year's morning, right? We had a big party, and me and some friends hosted it at her event space. And I woke up that morning, and like, my heart was like pounding out of my chest. I literally thought I was gonna have a heart attack, and I've never had one, so I don't know what that's like, but I literally thought I was about to have a heart attack and die. And I looked in the mirror, and I was like, yeah, if I don't change my life, like, I won't be here in 10 years. So to all you folks out there who love to fucking party, trust me, I was fucking the best of us. Like, I love to party. I love fucking people. I love going out, hanging out, partying, shooting the shit, meeting up with homies, fucking meeting beautiful women. Like, who the fuck doesn't like to have a good time, listening to great music? Like, who the fuck doesn't like to have a good time? But I look back now, and I see, like, I could have been so much more successful career-wise if I was just more grounded, right? I could have been so much more financially well off if I had saved that money. I remember, and the people who party know this shit, there's nights you go out and you wake up and you see like a yellow crumpled up tab in the corner or a white crumpled up tab, and you'd open it up and you'd be like, oh fuck, how did I spend that much money? It was always just, buying people drinks, just having fun, like partying, and like it was great, like don't get me wrong, but like it definitely takes its toll. Like it took its toll on me, never mind financially, but like mentally, emotionally, like physically. Like, you do the math, like, you can't be as successful as you're gonna be on a Monday and be productive at work, whether you're solo entrepreneur or whether you're working for someone or with someone, a team. You can't be as successful as you're gonna be on that Monday if you were fucking going nuts over the weekend until 2, 3 a.m. every night. It's just not gonna happen. Your body doesn't have enough sleep. And so come 42, I just knew I had to change, and it was stemming, right? Like it was coming on, like that was that morning I woke up and I was like, all right, let me go 30 days sober, like no alcohol. Let me see if I could do this. And at that time I was doing the entrepreneurial thing, so like if I wanted to fucking stay out till 2, 3 a.m. I could, right? But I made like 2 weeks. I remember I was taking a walk in LA, and I remember seeing like this mailbox kind of thing on the corner of the road, like the U.S. Postal Service, like the blue and white. I don't even know if they still have them, right? But at that time, I saw it, and I just put my head on it, and like I remember like literally crying, being like, how could I abuse my body like that? Like literally all that alcohol, all the fucking shitty food that I ate under the influence, all the, the money that I spent, and I was like, you know what? Like, let me extend another 30 days, right? Like I'm starting to relieve myself of some of this anguish, whatever it was. And, come later that summer, I mean, that was early Jan, right? But come later that summer, I started to get into meditation and yoga, and that's a different story for a different time, but make a change. And the hardest part about making the change was like, I lived my life a certain way for 25 years. Like, how do you go from like hanging out at bars and clubs, and that's like your whole social life, who you meet out, to like not going out and partying, right? Because the other thing is like, I was early stage entrepreneur, so I was saving money, so it wasn't like I could even go out. And the other thing, truth be told, like if you're not drinking, it's not that easy just to go to a bar, right? And like, what are you going to do at a bar or club if you're not drinking? And now, there's some people who say, hey, like, I fucking go out to bars and clubs. I don't drink. Like, yeah, if that's like something you're comfortable with. But like, if you live your life a certain way, 25 years, like, you don't fucking go into the lion's den. Like, why would I fucking do that? Like, that'd be stupid. So that was when like the self-exploration and self-care, and then I, got into yoga and meditation. We'll talk about that later, but it was literally identifying a change that had to occur. And a lot of people, like, at that stage in life wouldn't have changed, right? Like, I just knew, like, yo, if I don't change, I ain't gonna be here in 10 years. And I would suggest, like, if you're really struggling, and mindfulness ended up showing me the answers as to why I was, like, drinking so much, and, like, why I couldn't. All of us, I'm saying it from the past form of me, but like all of us know, like when you have an issue, like, why can't I be normal and just go have a beer or two, right? Well, you can be, but that takes a lot of time. And like I saw, like through meditation, the emotional healing of why I was masking my pain with some things that happened in my life with alcohol, because it was easy, right? It was easy as opposed to dealing with like the hurt and the pain. So, look, that's what this channel's about, me being open and honest. And that was the day that I started making that change, that New Year's Day, where I'm like, yo, I got to change my life. And, you know, after I did the 2 months sobriety, I said, fuck it, let me just do the whole year, right? Like, that was 2017. Like, that was when I really discovered, like, self-care and, like, living a life of, like, merit of spirituality and development and constant growth. And I just changed my whole life. My life changed that morning. And now I'm putting up YouTube videos about, like, why you should consider mindfulness and self-care. Like, if that doesn't show you, like, that I literally resurrected myself from the dead, or at least identified, like, yo, that this path can no longer serve me. And when the path can't no longer serve you, you gotta fucking adjust, you gotta pivot, right? And so now I know with my health, like, there's no reason for me not to live another 30 years, right? Like, I actually lost like 7-8 pounds since Super Bowl, so I'm super excited. Look, man, or woman, man or woman, I would just suggest, like, you really figure out what you need to stay calm. I mean, I'm successful. I'm healthy. Like, if you're healthy and happy, and I'm gaining happiness, like, if you gain happiness and you're happy, if you're healthy and happy, like, you're pretty skilled, like, you're gonna be fine. So I would just suggest, like, if you need, like, alcohol just to kind of, like, numb the fucking existence you're going through, you might want to consider a different mechanism. Let's talk more. Peace. Deuces.